Hello friends, so got a lot of code updates to share with you tonight. It's probably because I took the laptop to the couch, so it's just been hammering things out. We have quite a bit to talk about. Some of it you'll actually get to use tonight on the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and start testing that actually. So as I get acquainted with the stream, I'll talk about some other updates, which are quite exciting. Been struggling for about 4 days to get by this specific problem, but there was 3 or 4 commands that were suggested last night, and I was able to get those programmed, plus a couple others. Oh, what a mad world. Okay, dokie. So time to test some commands, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to start up the YouTube chat, and I'm just going to start testing. All right, it's up. So I did add the YouTube style way of doing commands. You know how it's like the exclamation mark. So we do have that now. Let's see if this works. Yeah. All right. Let's see if this works. Fuck's sake. Where's that coming from? But we have a command directory now that you can trigger by typing help. There's also all sorts of other commands you can type. Let's try them out. Where's my avatar?
Codeloch says testing chat.
All right. So I'm off to the side, aren't I? Let's move this. Oh, I did fix the move command, so let's try that. Move right 5. See where I go. All right. Now let's try to grow. Get bigger. That's not growing. What's going on here? Okay, he's bigger than another avatar. All right, so I guess it is working. What else we got? We got float. Ooh, that's beautiful. I wonder if that's readable on the phone. I'm gonna check it out myself. Where is the live stream? Okay. It's the live stream. Let's try that out again. It gets the point across, doesn't it? Oh no, you told me. You might notice a white background. There's a reason for that. Big updates, big moves. Right. This is an interactive avatar experience. You don't see many things like this, not on YouTube. But that's what I like to build. And if anything, I'm a prolific builder. Prolific. The man is back. Let's fire up our local environment. Get the PSP chat up as well, because I don't just do it a little bit. We go all the way over here. Oh, should not be in there. Bloody hell. Where are we at? That's right, I got to remove some test code so we can boot up a bunch of stuff. Okay. So we want all that back. Okay. And we're just going to do big gross comments because today is a day of moving a massive amount of code. That's for sure. Force chat restrictions, yes please. Alright. Reboot our local. Connect to thy local. Bring PSP up even though we're out of memory. Look at that, that's lovely. That's just like what I like to see. It makes my day. Alright. We want to go to a small room, 2 megabytes. This might even be a little bit too crazy, but we'll make do. If that doesn't give you a Habbo vibe, I don't know what does. Look at that. Okay. Let's do some optimization over here. So a lot of the coding I was doing today, it didn't make sense to live stream it just because it was like live stream functionality. So I implemented full native streaming to YouTube, Twitch, Kick and all that, RTMP, right from the phone, which is gigantic. Still got to optimize it a bit though, but it's fully native solution. So why don't we go and give it a test? Clean up the desk a bit. Who gives a shit? Did that trigger the help screen? It did. Look at that, it's like a rave. What we're going to try first, we could do some simple coding, like just alternate these commands that pop up every so often. That way you can see the whole list. There's quite a few now. Oh, that's right, we can crawl. Why don't we try that? And someone made a request to send multiple commands at once, which was a really good idea. So I don't know how that was, but I'm probably going to do that. That's really funny. Alright. Is this an avatar or a fucking avatar? No, I think it's a person. Some cool things we could look at. By the way, my personal opinion that Claude Code kind of sucks. Not impressed. Fisher Yates Shuffle. Ooh. I've never implemented that before. Let's see what alternatives there are. This is something that would do like a Google interview question. Like, how do you completely randomize an array? How do we want to do this? We're going to use set state, or we're going to do it. Okay, let's take a look here. Let's pop it up here for now. We can always move it about. Hmm. It's strange. Oh, whoops. Move this into a database when I'm done. All right, let's see what that does. Uh-oh. Ooh. All right, that seems to be doing a decent job. So what do? Are we missing commands? Identify flow or oh, there's a stream. Right, so you can crawl, you can grow your avatar, you can shrink it, you can float, and I wonder if I re-render, they'll probably wipe out the states. We'll have to fix that. I love the latency. Look at that, I'm a woman now. That's what I need. Alright. I do want to give people the ability to be items, and I would like to run. So items have plugins, like, you know, there's the light there. That has a lighting effect. I'd like to like make it so I could be a light among nations. All right, let's just do. Okay, cool, that works. And then we have to test out. Yes, SV1. We have to test out a streaming solution I did. Oh, that's not right. What's going on? Okay, we're going to release this update to alternate the commands. Just to get that out. Alternate. Oh, for fuck's sake, why did I hear myself? Just to get that out. Oh, for fuck's sake, why did I hear myself? Yikes. Let's disable that. Okay, I'll push that out. Build 500. Jesus Louise. That should be good. What do we have here? A bunch of nonsense. Okay. That's a multiple habit. Oh, one of them must be an AI.
E Prado says, what are you working on?
Hey Prado, hello. So tonight I'm releasing some new chat commands. So if you type !help, you'll see some of those. And I'm also working on a fully native stream solution right from the phone. So we can have avatars on YouTube streams on the phone. So I appreciate the question. I hope your week's going well. Let me know if you want me to show you any of the code or you want to see any of the features here. But mainly the stream's just to test out these commands tonight. Had a bunch of feedback last night stream. God, I can't wait for steak. Steak and a baked potato. Some cheesy broccoli after we get done here tonight. What do we have left to test? We have the phone stream situation. We could try that. Oh, bloody week, man. All right. So we're going to test the phone stream that situation that I implemented. I should clear out all my notifications because it's going to show everything. So this was a biatch to implement. Native development on iPhone. It's kind of a pain in the best of days. But when you try to implement a live streaming solution from scratch, it's... Whew. And yeah, I've seen a lot of vibe coders, you know, push out crappy little crud apps, selling Claude up to be like this magnificent tool and stuff. I'm sorry. When it comes to iPhone development, you still got to code, man. You still got to debug. So I spent $5 on Claude code yesterday to try it out, you know, because despite, you know, I like coding, that's what I do. You got all these kids just pumping out crappy little apps with AI these days, and it's like, well, I've got a problem with, you know, that I want to solve, and native development, let's go spend $5. I spent $5, all it did was waste my time. I came on today and around 11 AM and I solved the problem myself. I'm bloody happy for it. So let's go ahead, boot up Xcode and get this code on my phone. I love it now that Xcode pushes your code wirelessly, so I don't have to be plugged in. It's probably been like that a couple of years, but I'm getting the benefits of it now. The whole goal here is to essentially replace OBS on web and natively on the iPhone and Android. It was easier to do in web because you know, I could get display media essentially in HTML5. We have the ability to pull in the screen, capture it, use a binary socket, shoot it up to an FMPEG encoder, and get it into an RTMP stream. And I'm actually going to circle back because I found there was a nice implementation of FMPEG for the browser and WebAssembly. So we might even be able to get rid of that server component completely, which is good because I've spent an inordinate amount of time implementing webrtc and making as much of it I can peer-to-peer. When it comes to iPhone though, you cannot capture the screen in the browser, no matter what you do. You can't do it in React Native, you can't do it in this or that. But with ReplayKit and this library that I can't pronounce, we can do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and test that and just like point the camera at my keyboard. Turn off the microphone. Okay, it's encoding now. So if I pull up VLC for this RTMP stream, which is actually going to be YouTube, I'm going to switch it out and the phone will literally be encoding completely to YouTube with avatars overlaid, with my custom text-to-speech engine, everything. So genuinely excited for that. And if you take a look at this on my screen right here, this might not seem like much, for fuck's sake. This might not seem like much, but this is an absolute bitch to implement. And I'm still working on optimizing it. But essentially, the phone is producing its own RTMP stream. It's capturing the audio from my overlay here. So you can construct streams with viewers being participants in it. And if I wanted to, I could flip the camera myself, I could blank out the camera, all sorts of stuff. But the coolest part about this is it's literally the phone producing its own RTMP stream. And offload as much as I can on the client side. And that means I'll be able to take this out and about and finally be able to do point of view streams, which are incredibly awkward, but I'm building this technology, so I really want to show it off. And yeah, still got, I mean, that quality is pretty good. Look at that, there's not too much breakup compared to WebRTC implementation. Incredibly happy with this. It's awesome. But one of the things to keep in mind is like I'm literally screen capturing my entire phone, so I'm gonna see if I can dig in a little bit to just screen capture the application specifically. But I should even be able to show you how this works. So if you pull down on the control panel on the iPhone and you click the record screen button, let me long hold it here, you'll see that I have an entry here. This is called a broadcast extension. So it's literally taking what would be going into like your photos library on the iPhone and it's pushing it out through RTMP. So I'm over the moon to have this working. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I fucking screamed when I got it working. And the crazy thing is there's examples on how to implement this, but iPhone is so finicky and the differences between the API versions are so strong that something that you see online, something suggested by AI, will completely not work. So it's really
Goblin
just
Slayer says, "What's happening?"
Goblin Slayer, what's going on, buddy? How are you? So we've got some new chat commands. Check this out. You can shrink, you can grow, you can crawl, and you can float. So I was just giving a wee demo of how I got this programmed on my iPhone how I could do these style streams just on my phone now, so I don't have to be in the office here. So it'd be pretty cool to make this available for other folks to try it. So yeah, pretty happy with that. Let me go ahead and terminate this. You see I will have to open up the system panel to do so. And yeah, we should terminate in a wee second. What you got going on, Goblin Slayer? Oh, interesting. It didn't show me opening the panel to close it. Interesting. Anyway, quite happy with that. I still have some audio issues to work out. Like I have these DJI mics, and for whatever reason, on the iPhone they register it as a headphone or a speaker, and I am not able to get them to show up natively, although I can get them to show up in the web view. The problem with that is doing audio capture in the web view when you're doing local audio, I'd have to play it out on the phone, and that's just not good. You want your local media sources to be muted, especially in public. So yeah, kicking that around a bit. And you can't see like how many different things I've tried to like get this working, but it works. And the cool thing, doing the Kynto stream from your phone, I'm going out of my way to make it so you don't have to store your YouTube API key on my quote-unquote cloud. I hate how they call it cloud. We've had servers since the bloody like 70s. But it's all stored on the device because the encoding's happening on the device. So I think that's a huge plus. What are the main things I wanted to show, honestly? Any questions? You can see I have the RTMP streaming functionality built right into the browser here as well after release it. You can screen capture window, share it, and it starts broadcasting it. Let's see, do I have socket RTMP up? No, I don't, so that's going nowhere. Let's fire this up. But we have two solutions now. When I say we, I just mean me. Like, I've built this fucking thing myself. All right, so this is desktop version of what I just demoed on the iPhone. All right, you should see logs starting out. Oh, look at that little crash in there, but it's right into the Fmpeg stream now. So we'll give that a few minutes to buffer, and then I'll pull it up in VLC. And the cool thing about this is I already have a whole WebRTC implementation here. So I can do dumb shit like this. Put that on my face, and then I can go into VLC, which in this case would actually be like YouTube or Restream or whatever the fuck, whatever the hell, sorry. Let's click the right one. It says it's right into the stream. I wrote this a couple of days ago and I haven't really tested it since. I did one single test on Twitch with it, and there was a little bit to be desired with the frame rate. We're going to go into the Docker service that are called socket RTMP. Looks like I still have to implement heartbeat, authentication, nginx, that way that, whoa, what the why did it do that? Alright, you're not using Twitch, that's good. Alright, you should be firing into local, so why aren't you? I did make some changes, but you shouldn't be seeing anything. Oh, that's right, I need to actually operate the service, that may be off. Let's see. That's reverse proxy. Look at all these services I've got, it's absolutely insane the amount of stuff. Alright, let's open a new terminal. CD into our ls cd services, ls cd RTMP. So we have a Docker container for our nginx RTMP, and then we have the actual socket RTMP consumer for desktop. I need to fire this up, I think. So we'll fire that up. I'm gonna have to restart this stream. No, I've not done any reconnection logic yet for iPhone or for this, but I'll hit it tomorrow. Or maybe I'll go to the beach, we'll see. I tell you, RTMP streams are quite finicky, man. Got to deal with desync issues. Buffering is more of a pain than you expect. And Fmpeg's pretty damn powerful, but I'm not completely aware of all the arguments and stuff. This is what I came to that worked. Literally just incrementally testing it. But why aren't you doing your thing? Wish I could cook steak and program at the same time, folks. Okay. All right, why aren't you loading? Oh, it is, it's working. Yeah, so if you take a look at this, this is literally a web implementation of RTMP that I did. Works on any browser on a desktop. I mean, it would even work on the bloody Quest 3 Meta headset because that allows you to share screens. So, how can I make this smaller? The resizing thing doesn't always work. There we go. Yeah, but this is VLC right here. Let's see. I think there's a way to get info to show on a VLC, like how many frames you're getting, but I'm not too sure. Let's see. You can see it's quite behind. I think I'm sampling it every second or so, so that might be part of the issue. Yeah, but see, it works. We have desktop and iPhone working, which is awesome. The whole goal is here is to just completely phase out OBS. I'm going to sound like a dead record until it's released. Demi the kid, hello buddy, how are you? I've seen you made it over to the Discord, I appreciate you. How's your work week getting on? We got the PSP activated as well, so as you can see, this project is spiraling into anything that I can get my hands on.
Sonelakird says Game Boy Color LOL.
Don't tempt me. Is there a network card for the Game Boy Color? You got me curious, man. Probably do some sort of a serial connection to the computer and Arduino to feed in internet. So it's probably, oh, here we go. We got Wi-Fi carriage. I like that. That's the sort of thinking I like. We've also got the Commodore 64. I thought I ordered a network card for it, but I don't think I did. Oh yeah, there was a YouTube video where a guy literally, I don't know, like Russia or Ukraine, he implemented a full streaming system. Sweet. Yeah, there's some commands you can try out too in the chat I got coded here. You won't see them work on the PSP, but you will see them work on the other parts of the stream. Yeah, we need one of these. I need to move my office. I'm going to switch my house around because I have a lot more room these days. And yeah, I'm kind of crammed in here. I'd like to have all my machines set up so it's not such a pain to develop for them. Oh, that's a good price.
Are network cards pre-configured?
That's a great question. I know a lot of them you have to like populate like the equivalent of like an INI file, you know, with your Wi-Fi info. So usually requires a little bit of text editing. Like if you're going to do the Commodore 64 thing, I'd recommend getting an SD card reader as well, which I do have.
I got it.
Yes, sir. And let's see, how's this RTMP stream doing? Oh, it timed out, I think. Oh, it's still there. I wonder if it's because I closed the tab. Let's see. The cool thing about doing these streams is I get to test all this stuff in coding, so. Well, what it should do here is it should just actually switch the tab I'm on, so I don't think that's going to break it. Let's close it. Guys, if you can, show your support by liking and subscribing to the video. I'd like to actually break this system by getting more people on. It happened a couple of days ago. It'd be really cool to repeat that.
I'm noticing lag between text and the voice chat.
Yeah, no, 100%. I will say if you hop onto like Twitch or Kick, where I do also stream a full screen, it's almost instantaneous over there. I can tell you why there's a lag on YouTube. I'll just go ahead and give you like a little rundown, but essentially on YouTube, I'm doing a GET request to pull the chat. So there's a hard-coded latency of 5 seconds there. And then YouTube itself has about 8-second latency between me waving my hand here and you seeing it. So that adds up to about 15 seconds. So there is definitely a lag there.
Got it?
I haven't heard of Steve Mould, but he's British, so that's pretty cool. We all look the same in the UK, but I'm not even in the UK anymore. What's funny though, the PSP implementation, you'd actually notice less of a lag because I'm running a different, I'm scraping the YouTube chat locally. So I'm running 2 instances of the service that you're seeing, and the local version actually is quicker. So this one's probably about 8 seconds for your text to actually appear on the PSP. So it's one of the few things, the PSP is actually quicker than the text readout, which is kind of ironic. I just can't deploy my scraper to Amazon. Google says no, it doesn't like Amazon IP addresses. And I consider doing like a VPN or a proxy to my local host to use my local IP. But what I think I'm going to do is just spin up a local instance in the server that's behind the camera, which I use for all my build and DevOps stuff. Because I would like to get that latency down. Because you can actually move your character around the screen and stuff, so it would definitely be more fun if you could do that quicker. Does anyone have any music recommendations, please? I like music. Oh, cool. You found me over on Twitch. So let me go ahead and hook up the Twitch chat so you can see this work a little bit faster, because I actually have Twitch turned off right now. Give me 2 seconds and you'll see what I'm talking about with the latency. And then I'll answer your question. So give me 2 seconds here. If I can find the URL that I'm supposed to get my OAuth token from. Here we go. You know, let me get the Twitch chat up. You'll see it's much faster. I'm not sure why YouTube is stuck in like the 1990s with their API setup, but we are, that's how it is. All right, so I go in here, pop this token in, click start connection. So now any of your chats coming in through Twitch, you should be coming in way quicker. Let me know if it comes in any faster, but some lo-fi would fit this great. Yeah, I agree with that. I found someone on YouTube that would let me use his music. He does lo-fi stuff. But what am I using to run my code?
666 says sweet.
Yeah, so that came through almost instant because I had Twitch open and I seen your comment come in. So let me know that latency. How long did it take for your message to read out? But I'm running my code in Docker containers and most of it is running in Node. So JavaScript on the back end and JavaScript on the front end as well.
Maybe 3 seconds.
Okay, so that's an improvement, right? Son, do you do any coding yourself? What sort of tech stuff interests you?
Got it. I guess command lines don't have an exact brand. I've been using Visual Studio Code to learn.
Good choice. Definitely a good choice. That's what I'm using here as my main code editor. Sometimes I have to drop out of it specifically for iPhone stuff. iPhone is really tightly coupled to Xcode when you're working native. And yeah, with a terminal you don't know what it could be running. It could be Python, it could even be bloody C. If you want, go ahead and join the Discord. There's only about 80 of us over there. And I'm thinking maybe like to do some code challenges.
To Python for some reason.
Oh man, I prefer JavaScript to Python 100%. And JavaScript exists within HTML kind of front end, so I feel that. I've only done Python for a couple of things. This was one of them. This thing runs Python. And I got this actually hooked up to Kynto. It has a little camera on it and a little LCD screen that can move around. My idea was to make live chat control this. So I got about halfway there. There's so many directions we could take this. It's literally what tickles my fancy that night. But I'd say you're better off with JavaScript, HTML, all that stuff, because the web is the biggest app distribution platform on the bloody planet. Every operating system runs a web browser. Almost every bloody device that's released these days runs it. Even like my controller for my drone. I was able to get Kynto running on there. I was hoping I'd be able to get the video camera feed from the controller and inject it into the chat here, but no such luck. They've not made that available. All right, so this does seem to time out after a little while. It's kind of interesting. I do take code requests if you'd like to see me code a random command or an idea or a mini game. All for it. What I should probably do is commit this PSP stuff to the repo. I'm never too sure if it's a good idea to commit the package lock, but I think it's good to lock dependencies, but it's always a thing. So some of this code you're going to see for the PSP is really crappy looking because it's written for a 20-year-old browser. It was out of date the day it was released. Oh, we missed the renderer. What changed here? Oh, we have to reload to pick up our changes from the build.
Trying to join your Discord server.
Sweet, appreciate you. So you did say it cut off. I just seen it cut off a couple of your comments. Right now I'm learning a bit of AWS Cloud. Almost anything done with CCP. What's that? More interested in networking stuff right now, but dabbling a little code here and there, mainly a website and app design. But I really dig the more artistic things you could do with code as well, like you're doing. Yeah, 100%. It sounds like you're quite interested in like the DevOps route, and DevOps is very necessary in today's world. So, and the more you know about code, it's just gonna make you stronger with that. And yeah, it's for the artistic things you can do with code. I love that stuff. Get demo scene stuff that you see for. I like looking at demo scene stuff for like older computers, vintage game consoles, seeing how limits can be pushed. Oof, it tickles my fancy. And even just a web browser today. I like seeing that being pushed around.
I was doing some leet code but mainly just rewriting the code without copy and pasting completely.
Ooh, wow. I remember looking at leet code when I was a kid, I think. Oh, it wasn't leet code. What was it? There was one that was almost unreadable. Let's see if I can find it. Oh yeah. So forgive the swearing, but there was a language called Brain, F-U-C-K. I guess it was released in 1993, but never done anything with it, but it looked ridiculous. Yeah, this what are you supposed to do with that? I have no idea, but that's not leet code. Let's take a look at leet code. Oh, it's like a, isn't there a YouTuber that did this? Yeah, no, it's horrifying. Okay. Let's take a look at leet code. I've seen a YouTuber called Code Jesus that I think he set up like a site with a similar idea, but I don't think he invented his own language for it.
Truex edits says what you are making thinking face thinking face thinking face.
Drew, that is a lot of thinking. That's a good thing. How are you doing? Oh, Truex edits. I thought you were Drew.
Definitely need to spend more time trying to understand it.
Anything that gets you
They're
creating,
basically just
coding.
challenges.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Because then you have something to gauge your progress with. It's always good. But Truex edits, I am making what you're talking to me through. And it kind of spiders into all this random different directions, but that answers your question. Let's see, should I do a leet code challenge? I'll do terrible, but let's check it out. Is it C++? Or is it its own language? Okay, it's C++. Alright, got you.
Almost like AWS Poly. Check that out.
Is that AWS Poly, the speech synthesis thing? Yeah, cool. Yeah, that would give us more realistic voices. You know what I'm actually using for the voices here? If more people spoke, you could hear all the different voices, but I'm just using the speech synthesis API that's built into the browser. Get it for free. But
Yes.
it would be fun to do some more realistic voices. There was another one that I did implement called 11 Labs. Let's see if they're still around. If I could spell 11.
Skies shimmered and forests whispered secrets to the
Nice,
wind.
yeah, this one
Lived a
cost
dragon
probably.
for himself. Other brothers came down.
Yeah, it definitely does. Is AWS Poly part of the free tier? Let's see. Because I could actually, it might be worth implementing tonight. Take a look. Oh wow. Yeah, this part of the free tier. Yeah, we could definitely use this. What sort of latency do you get in it? Like, how long does it take for a request to actually return the audio stream?
Is 11 Labs free thinking face?
11 Labs isn't free, but it's very convincing. So you could actually take 11 Labs, you can train it on your own voice,
Quite
and
a
it
bit
made
of
me sound like
latency.
an American quite a bit. Okay, all right, similar to 11 Labs. But 11 Labs, the one cool thing is you can train it on your own voice. So let me see if I can pull my account actually. It like sounds like me, but it's like an American accent. Let me see. I'm gonna do this off screen here. Should still have my voice saved. I'm sure it's been harvested.
Voice cloning
But
is
just-
also available on Minimax Audio.
Minimax Audio. I appreciate the suggestions, guys. Is this the right site? That's one thing that always bugged me. Like a lot of like it's Twitch where I really see the text to speech for chat readouts. You know, usually you have to pay to get your comment read out, but everyone uses the same voice, and it's like, man, why don't you just switch up the voices a little bit? Make it sound a little bit fun, a little bit different at least, so you can identify who's talking. Oh my god, 11 Labs site is horrible. When you sign in, there's pop-ups everywhere. I'm just trying to see if it has my voice saved. It does. It has my voice saved. And my ex-fiance's. What a trip.
This is also similar to 11 Labs.
Aha.
Labs. All our knowledge has its origins in our perceptions. All our knowledge has its
Do I have to
origins in our
leave the Discord
perceptions.
server I'm in now to join another?
All our knowledge.
No, I think you can join as many as you like. It'll just show up as an additional option. If you had to, I wouldn't recommend joining my Discord. Let's see, do I have any money left in this thing? Oh, they finally implemented their own library. Before it was just you made like a GET request. Let's see, I still have it implemented. Oh, I do. Scared to open it because the API key. Let me pull this off screen. I've moved almost all API keys out, but like that's one of the older things that I might not have touched. Okay, I think we're saved. You definitely have to be cautious when you're streaming, when you're coding, because you know we rely on so many third-party services. But yeah, I'm using a secret server here, so we're good. Just make sure there's nothing else crazy. So it looks like I implemented it on the server side and client side. I don't know why, but. Dispatch the binary. Whoa, how is it doing this? It's crazy being able to look back at my code. Oh, forget how, look, I implemented this 2 years ago. I've not seen it since. So I was sending it over the socket directly. Wow. Madman.
You are from Scotland, thinking face.
Truex edits, you got it.
Sun
I've lived in Florida.
LXRD joined stream new.
I've lived in Florida about 20 years though, so I'm wondering if you're hearing a bit of Florida as well. And welcome, Sun is in the chat. So that means Sun will be able to actually move around in here. Go ahead and make sure I'm being responsible. Truex edits, I'm curious where you're from, if you could detect a Scottish accent.
I am from
It's
Miami.
remarkable. Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I live in West Palm Beach. So I'm up the coast. I'm curious if you're aware of the mullet run that just happened.
I'm in Dallas.
Sweet. I've not been out to Texas, but it's bloody huge.
Yes, I know that.
Awesome. Yeah, every year we have a giant run of fish. Was it Spanish mackerel or mullet? I forgot. But so many mullet come down that the water literally is alive, moving, and there's all sorts of fish going after them. It's nuts. I was doing quite a bit of diving and fishing last year, but I've slowed down this year.
Sun LXRD joined stream new.
I have a couple of acres out in the Florida swamp, so I'm quite disconnected from most things. If I listened to my ex, I would have sold this place, but I'm glad I didn't. Nice, I like the gold pants. You can actually pick up the apples and gold bars as well. You see on the screen. For you folks listening, you can join at kyntoparty.com and like literally just join the stream, what you see on screen. And the text-to-speech system still works, so if you chat in here, it'll still read out your messages and everything, but you can control your character way more. I'm curious if you folks have any feedback on where I could post about this project and these experimental streams to get some more folks on. I spent many years building this sort of stuff, but not showing it to anyone. And you know, I'm sure you guys can relate. Projects go to die on your desktop, and try to stop that. Let's wire up 11 labs since we have some tokens.
SunLXRD says trying to learn this UI LOL.
Sun, please give me some feedback, because I will literally implement it.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Yeah, this system, I've not even showed you guys this, but it's disabled in this room, but if you click chat, like I can have guests on to share projects they're working on, and it's all peer-to-peer, but like...
It's definitely cool.
I appreciate that, Son. That's awesome. Yeah, and there's a lot of features buried in it, and I need to do a better job of bringing it to the forefront. But I do use them to do the streams. That's how I share my screen and cameras. Alright, I think we should wire this up and see what happens.
Give me some time and I'll think about it for sure.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm genuinely like asking for just feedback. We want to make it more user friendly and just easier to use.
Money mouth face.
Alright, so we can hijack the current text-to-speech system that I've implemented. We'll do that. Let's see. Yeah, right here, we're gonna hijack this. We're not using it yet. What's going on here? No. Incomplete refactor. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, I was refactoring this giant React class I had for the app itself, breaking it all out into populators, but there's still about 654 lines of code remaining.
Have you ever worked for any game development or sewing? I think you should if you haven't.
No, Truex, I haven't, but I've always been interested in it. Most of the work stuff I've done is quite boring compared to like what I want to do, so appreciate that.
Mr. Hoodie says PSP. Let's go.
Mr. Hoodie. And you should be showing up in that PSP momentarily. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. That's your comment right there. Okay, so we need to get this API key in here. Well, that's not like. Must be why I wanted to do it in the server because I don't want to leak that. Well, let's wire it up anyway.
What does catalog do?
So catalog contains the items. Like this room you're in right now, there's actually a ton more. You can spawn new items and like decorate the rooms. So let's see. Oh, wrong UI. Let's see, what would be cool? A TARDIS. Appreciate it, Mr. Hoodie. It's supposed to read out your comment, but the AI mod's a bit sensitive. Let's see if it picked it up on PSP. So great question. It's actually quite difficult to do because the browser's like 20 years old. So how I'm actually doing it is kind of funny. I'm essentially doing server-side rendering of all the frames, and then I'm just having the browser, as much as it can, incrementally update the frame on the PSP, and just until it runs out of memory, and then I force reload the page. So that's why you see it flash every so often. But I'm going to do a little video on it. I've been working on editing it. I just haven't finished it, but like what I had to do to code it. So go ahead and keep your eyes out if you want to see that video, because I'll probably put the code up on GitHub as well. Why not? It was really difficult to find a way to do it though, because I tried to do it all within the, like that's the browser. It just has 2 megabytes of RAM to work with.
Gotta catch
crazy.
some Z's, but definitely looking forward to hanging again.
Yes, son, I appreciate hanging out with you too, man. Take it easy. I'll be logging off shortly too. I've got to cook a steak and not wake up at like too late tomorrow. Hope to see you back.
Have a great night. Be on tomorrow night.
Yes, definitely.
Ah, I assume the RAM of the PSP is small. Last time I checked it's 32 MB.
Yes, Mr. Hoodie, that's correct. But here's the problem. So you have 32 megabytes for the system. So games can make use of almost all of that. But if you take a look at the PSP, I'm running it in the web browser. The web browser has 2 megabytes of RAM available. 2. No exaggeration, that's it. If you literally type in Google, how many megabytes of RAM does the PSP browser have access to? 2 megabytes, and it's called NetFront. And watch, if I change to another room, it'll immediately run out of memory. So I have to keep it in a really simple room. Let's go to like a big one, and you'll see it run out of memory instantly. Once it updates, it takes a minute for it to load it. You see it's suffering, but eventually you'll see it run out of memory. That 2 megabytes doesn't take much to, there you go. So if you see that, it's literally out of memory. So even the size of the room of the PSP is limited. And if I have too many items in the room, it causes the PSP to run out of memory as well. So good catch. If I go back in here, it should pick it back up. And like I said, I've put together a whole video of all the things I tried to actually do this. Because when I first started coding, this is actually the system I targeted, was a PSP, because my mum used to take the computer off me. So I'd code on the computer at night, and I'd have the PSP to talk to my friends during the day. Chandan Kumar, hello. Just about to sign off. But I appreciate you stopping by, and if you like, please subscribe if you like what you see. Or interested in seeing what else I will be developing over the course of the next days and weeks.
Just curious, face with monocle, when do you wake up in the morning?
Truex edits. So I'm recently on a hiatus as far as work, but traditionally I'd get up around 9 and I'd go to sleep around 4, so not much sleep there. I'm used to operating on very little sleep, unfortunately. Been that way my whole life. Today wasn't too bad though, it was around 10. But when it comes to like having a job to get up for, no matter what, I always get up for it. But at night is when I actually settle down enough to...
6 to 7 hours.
Oh, you're right, I know. You're not wrong. Mr. Hoodie, that is a great point. I don't think so, but I'm curious. No, but the second model of the PSP comes with 64 megabytes, so I imagine it has more for the web browser. But yeah, essentially I just load up a web page. I can show you the web page that I'll load up real quick on my local here. So this is it. As you can see, I've got to fix the offsets, the avatars are off the tiles, but it roughly corresponds to what's going on there, very roughly. I appreciate that additional like. That actually helps me get more people on here and more avatars to help test this and hang out. And just a quick note, I do have like a couple of long form videos on more explains like the system that I've built, because you've only seen a part of it
Legendary
tonight.
pull of a channel.
That's awesome. I appreciate that, man.
Which one from them is me thinking face?
Truex edits, let's see. Oh, you're here. You're behind Snapple. Let me move my avatar out the way and you'll see yourself. Hold on. I'm in your way. All right. So now that I've moved, there you are. So there's your bubble. And that's probably you here. You can see my mouse. Oh, yeah.
Tim Tom.
Subscribe to Codeloch, he's the PSP master.
Awesome. Look at that, you're on the PSP saying as much. I gotta get a screenshot of that, that's pretty cool. So we can pop that in the video. Alright folks, I think I'm gonna go get some food and wind down. I'm gonna try and get to there's a bridge that has a really good diving spot, and I spent a lot of time there last year. I'm gonna go try there tomorrow. So, Mr. Hoodie, TrueX Edits, it was a pleasure, and I hope I see you guys around again. And I'll show you my process of shutting this down. It's all contained in this website, essentially, how I manage these streams. So the first thing I do is come in here and disable the YouTube chat integration and the Twitch. And you'll see the avatars disappear off the screen. It's always kind of sad, but I'll be back. And then up here, this controls my OBS instance. So this is what I've been working on phasing out, is OBS completely, to have this system do it, but I can control it here. So appreciate you folks once again. There's Discord links in the profile, and there is additional, I only have a couple of long form videos where I go into detail of what I built here. Check them out and show some support if you can.